It was homecoming in Abbott, Texas.
Watching Willie's Hands came about. We were sitting some bar at some gig one night, and the Austin City Limits show was on, and we were kind of watching it, you know, on the TV in the club, and they would always focus on Willie's hands, you know, and the way he picked and everything, and so we decided that watching Willie's Hands could be a song someday, and that's been a long, long time ago, and so it's always kept it in my mind. And so I started writing this song probably 8 or 9 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, and went through several different verses of where I thought it should go, you know. And but the whole thing started, like I say, you know, back in the '60s. First time I ever saw it. The first line is it was homecoming, Abbott, Texas, with a semi-trailer for a stage. It was back in the '60s when the Beatles were the rage. Cadillacs and Winnebagos is how they got around back then. That's the first time I remember ever watching Willie's Hands. And that was the deal. There was a Winnebago parked out on the other side of the football field where the stage was. And in the back of the stage was a Cadillac pulling a U-Haul trailer. And that's where the band was. They came in that, and Willie was in the Winnebago. And I always thought the W on the side stood for Willie. You know, I didn't know anything about motorhomes then. But I thought it was pretty cool. So then the song just kind of evolved as we went along, and I had cut the track for it maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. I always kept it in the back of my mind. One of these days I was going to use it on something. And then when I finally decided to do this project, which was a total tribute to Willie, at that time I had no idea that I would be able to get him to sing on Nightlife with me and play his guitar. No idea.
And the nightlife ain't no good life, but it's my life. Many people just like me dreaming of old used to be. Nightlife ain't no good life, but it's my life.
As I finished watching Willie's Hands, I had Johnny Bush in the studio singing on a couple of songs. He sang on Sound of a Heartache, one of the songs that he wrote, that he and Willie had done on an album. And I said, would you have a few minutes to listen to this song I wrote about Willie? And he goes, sure. So he listened to it and he goes, I need a copy of that. But it needed some tweaking, you know, the vocal wasn't quite loud enough, but he knew that he liked it well enough that he wanted to take it and listen to it. And he played it for Willie. They were playing golf one day, and I got a call, and it was Johnny Bush. And he said, I played this song for Willie, and then he stopped, and he handed the phone to Willie, and so I'm like, I'm talking to Willie Nelson on the telephone. And he said, man, I really appreciate the things you said in this song. It's a great song. And he said, I said, well, I'm doing a whole album, you know. I don't know what the songs are going to be yet, but they're all going to be yours or ones you've recorded. And Johnny's, you know, we've done a couple with Johnny. And he said, well, why don't we do one together? I went, okay. Sounds like a deal to me. So, you know, it took a while to get the logistics done and everything. Now, he did it at his studio down in Luck, and we sent the track down. You know, these days you can pretty much do anything digitally and send it over the internet and whatever. Well, I've worked at Patrick McGuire Recording with Patrick for probably 18, 20 years. We have this eye-to-eye thing that we think alike about what we want to do with certain things, you know, and I think that's important.
You know what, I'd like to hear him play the 2/4 part comping like that and see if it's better than the chop.
But when we got it back, it was like, wow, I can't believe this really happened. And then we decided that, you know, we would take some time and really listen to get the very best of his vocal and guitar parts, and then kind of switch us back and forth. And that's what we did, and it just turned out amazing to me. And a lot of other people have said, "Is that you playing or is that Willie playing?" Well, it's both of us playing, you know. So we kind of switched those back and forth, and the vocals at the same time too. So it's amazing what you can do with technology these days.
And the nightlife ain't no good life. But it's my life.